Hey guys, this is Jake with Lunch Money Fishing. This is Whiskey and Whiskers Podcast.
Welcome to Whiskey and Whiskers, episode 2, version 107. This is Chop.
Blake.
Chris. Gator.
And we're joined today by a guest. It's Captain Glen.
Hey guys, how's it going? So real quick, before we really get started, before we get into this, it is coming upon us Memorial Day weekend. Real quick, I just wanted to touch base, say thanks to all of our troops. We definitely support all you guys. Shout out to Corey and everybody else that's served for our country. We really appreciate it. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Have fun.
Be safe.
Fuck yeah.
Definitely.
Have fun.
Fuck yeah.
So, we got some whiskey this week again.
Yeah, let's see what we got in the magic cooler.
What was the temp today? 94?
Yeah, it was
Is that
hot.
Rebecca Creek? No,
It got
Knob
hot.
Creek.
It was preheating.
Look, it's sweating. It's sweating.
Rebecca
That's
Knob.
how you know it's good. Knob Creek. That's what we're drinking today. Oh, I just fucked it off.
All right. Cork top.
Got it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Interesting.
How long is Knob Creek aged in a barrel?
He's got to do reading for that.
I don't know, but it's 100 proof. That's important to know.
Ooh, that is important.
So,
I guess it doesn't matter. How long was it aged in a cooler?
it's been aged in the cooler for about 48 hours.
All right.
One of the metrics that I think we're going to start critiquing whiskey on is its capacity to get you drunk,
Right, yeah.
and that I feel like that's important.
That is important.
And I think this is gonna do the trick.
I think seeing how it stands up to Texas heat for 48 hours is a pretty good
Inside
test,
of a Yeti cooler with no ice.
Yeah.
The magical Yeti cooler.
Damn.
Yeah, he pulled it out and the bottle is just sweating.
It's the
Well,
garage.
so
man.
automatically it's going to take a step down on how it gets you drunk because you can't get the cap off of it.
No, so I think I got it. It's tight though.
Is it a knob? Is that what's going on?
Well,
think it is a
it's a
knob.
cork.
It
So
is.
hold on. Everyone, be quiet. I want to hear it.
Ooh,
Ooh, that was good.
that was a good one.
Much like rule number
Did you
one.
get some in your eye?
Step number one is don't be a pussy and
Step
not be able to
It's on
open
your-
a
Yes, but
bottle
not
of
any of the
whiskey.
whiskey.
It's on your cheek, Blake. Get it off,
I
man.
want this one.
The one with the flying is the best one for sure.
That's the one I want.
All of these have been
Crunchy.
sterilized with water since the last time they were used.
At least spit.
no, not really. But I did like blow in them, so get
Yeah, get the dust out.
yeah. So they're safe.
Maybe not sterile, but clean.
Close enough. I'm trying to put that cork back in. It's making me look like a bitch too. What you need?
All right, well,
Shots. Let's go.
down the hatch.
Let's go.
Shots. Let's go.
Enjoy, you guys.
Happy Memorial Day, boys.
Happy Memorial Day. Yeah.
It's got more burn on the front end than Woodford. I like it a little better than Gentleman Jack, I think.
I'm opposite. I like Gentleman Jack a little bit better than Knob Creek.
So I think one thing we need to start doing is doing like a weekly standing, at least like a top 3.
Yeah.
Right now, where do we stand?
Woodford, Gentleman Jack, regular Jack Daniels.
Ooh, you put that one that low, huh?
Then Knob Creek, and then Evan Williams.
Well, let's give Knob Creek, let's give that 100 proof a little bit of time to settle in.
Yeah, we'll rate at the end of the episode.
I
Okay,
do
okay.
like
It
that
pairs
it's 100
well with
proof.
the Miller Lite, not going to lie.
I do definitely like that it's 100 proof, for sure. It says that it's crafted for superior taste and smoothness. Considering it's 100 proof, it's very smooth. It's original. And doesn't look like it's a small batch.
It's not sweet. I like that. I like that it. Whiskey
It's very-
is too sweet. They're
it's
sugary.
very
It tastes
rye.
like a hangover. Yeah.
It's very rye.
It does have a bit of a rye grainy taste to it. I can dig it though. I like it. For sure I like it.
You're going to push that cork all the way in. We'll never get it out.
For sure. So, you touched a little bit on Memorial Day is coming, right?
Definitely.
So, Memorial Day for me, that usually means that summer is here. We can start going to the lake, hang out with
Yeah.
some lake people.
Yep.
Captain Glen. Why do they call you Captain Glen?
It's what I do every day. At least every weekend. I try to do it every day.
You're a pirate.
I've been called worse. Spend a lot of time on the lake, a lot of time with
Which
lots
lake?
of people.
Rep it.
Lake Travis.
Hell yeah.
Nice. The best lake, the Great Lake,
The
one
great
might
lake,
say.
the greatest lake.
Shout out to all the lake
Number
travelers.
one,
So-
number one party lake in America.
So you're
Over Lake Havasu?
Definitely.
Really? I heard
Past-
Havasu's bigger.
No, it's maybe a bigger lake, but it's not the number one party lake right now.
Oh, wow.
Past 2 years has been Lake Travis.
Nice.
Yeah, if you guys haven't been to Devil's Cove, that's why you can't get laid.
Fact.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're out there on Lake Travis all the time, that you're walking the line on being a lake person, dude.
A lake person?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
You know, like lake people.
Lake people.
Lake people
They-
are like
they have those?
one iteration, one evolution higher than mud people.
Lake
No,
walkers.
no,
bro.
no, no, no. What?
Lake walkers,
Evolution
for
higher.
sure. Lake walkers are kind of like dirt leggers.
Yeah, but it's
Closer
different
to the
see,
water.
because it's different because I'm out there making money while I'm having a good time.
Well, and I think the type of lake people that Chop's talking about are like Lake Travis had lake people back in the 80s, and those are the people that lived in an RV right on the water, and they ride a moped to work.
wait. Before we continue this, let me just be clear. I'm a boat captain for a party boat rental company.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
So
It's,
where I'm getting at is, I think what you're talking about is the type of lake people that like don't know what the fuck they're doing and show up with $1 million boat and then take their tits out.
Hey, can you drive this for me?
yeah, that happens a lot.
I have had an experience where I was in like an $80,000 yacht, and we got a anchor tied up around the propeller, and
Nice.
in Devil's Cove, and the boat would no longer drive forwards, and it would only drive backwards, and we seriously drove 20 drunk people on this boat backwards all the way across the lake
Hell
back to
yeah.
the wet dot.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
There is literally a million stories. Of,
I can't tell you enough stories.
Dude, I can't imagine the bounty of stories. Just,
Give us one. Give us like the best
us
one.
one?
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe we can set the stage a little bit.
Yeah.
If you haven't ever been to Devil's Cove, it's the type of place, it's the type of magical place that when you put up in a boat, there's already 100 boats there, and it doesn't matter what time of day it is or night. You tether off to another boat, and shots just rain down from the sky via giant slingshots.
beer
And-
bongs just slap you in the face.
right? And titties just like they just fall out. It's ridiculous.
everywhere.
And if it starts raining, everybody gets naked.
That's a fact.
the
Yeah,
party
I mean
doesn't end.
that's part of the story. One time I had 14 girls on the boat, and all but 2 of them got completely naked.
Yeah.
And it gets pretty wild. It gets pretty wild.
What about like drunk assholes just like ultimate fuck up?
Oh, man.
So one time I had a group of guys.
Yes.
We're on Lake Austin, and in the party cove in Lake Austin, on one side of it, it's about 3.
Which, just for the people that aren't from Austin, Lake Travis is on the higher end of the dam. Lake Austin is the lower. It's the same body of water just through the dam on the lower side.
Right. So in the party cove on Lake Austin, on one side it's about 3 foot deep, and the other side's about 12 foot deep. And so we were, a little closer to the more shallow side, and I anchored the boat, and I told them, hey, it's real shallow here, be careful, don't dive. And this drunk asshole decides he's going to dive right in.
Was he a cocksucker or a motherfucker?
I'm pretty sure he was a motherfucker.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, in
this
all,
drunk
in all
mother-
aspects of it, he
This
was
drunk
a motherfucker.
motherfucker.
Yeah, drunk motherfucker decides to dive off the front of the boat. Comes up disoriented, mud all over his face, and I pull him out of the water and I set him down and give him a couple minutes, and he's back up. He's ready to go. He's raging again.
Stay tuned, I'ma
And
do it again.
he hangs out for about 20-30 minutes, and he does the same fucking thing.
I knew it.
Dives right in. You see his feet just in the air because his head hits the ground. Comes up, mud all over his face, bleeding out of his nose. Lucky he even came up because it pretty much knocked him out. And dragged him out of the water. And for the remainder of the trip, which was probably about 3 hours, I'm literally having to babysit this guy and make him stay in one spot on the boat to make sure he doesn't hurt himself again.
Drink water, bro. Yeah, you can't do it. Go
He was
home,
drunk
you're
when he got
drunk.
on the boat.
Yeah.
Like, he was already plastered when he got on the boat. So
I don't like when you tell stories about me, Glenn.
from the get-go, it was a bad situation,
Man.
Yeah.
The lake has that effect on people.
People don't. I mean, if you're not from here and you haven't partied on the water, you don't understand that drinking in the sun when it's hot as balls outside, because it gets 103, 104 here regularly.
Texas.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that,
And
hotter
you get in
in
the
Texas.
water and swim, and it's like...
and then you die. And it happens.
Yeah, it drains you. Dude. So
It's
the same
intense,
thing.
man.
We kind of had a similar thing when I worked at a hookah lounge in Dallas, where people would come in and they're in this. It's indoors, so it's a closed off space, and there's just smoke everywhere because it's hookah lounge. Like it puts
Right.
out a lot of smoke, and there's 40, 50 people blowing out these smoke all the time. So they're sitting there inhaling smoke all night and they're drinking and everything. And then they would stand up and like just pass out, just fucking faint.
They
and
pulled a
then
Rob.
the other thing that would happen is they'd go open the door, and as soon as they walked out and caught fresh air, they'd throw up like immediately.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And like so, same kind of effect. Like when
Yeah.
you're out there drinking all day and you're in the sun, you don't realize how much that
Well, and you're
shit's
chilling, like chilling to the max.
Yeah.
You're floating
Yeah.
on a noodle or something for like
Giant unicorn.
6 hours getting drunk.
Yeah. And then you get out of the water and you realize you can't fucking stand up because
Yeah.
you've been floating for 4 hours, you know? It gets pretty crazy, man. I get a lot of people passing out wasted just in crazy positions. And
That would suck if you paid a bunch of money to charter a boat and go out and party in Devil's Cove and
You
just
get
pass
so
out
fucked up,
drunk
you're- yeah.
in, like the first 30
no
minutes.
doubt, no doubt.
It's kind of like being an Uber driver on 6th Street.
yeah.
It's just babysitting fucking drunks.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, it's cool most of the time, but it definitely has its moments for
It's
sure.
a dream job. Sounds like
That's
a
what
dream
everybody
job.
says. It's a dream job. You have the best job in the world, and then you realize what you have to do.
It's a lot of fucking work. It turns
is.
out
It
it's a
definitely
fucking
can be.
job.
It's
Yeah.
still a fucking.
Do you ever get fishermen?
No,
I don't know if
Never,
that's-
never fishermen because we have party boats. So
Yeah.
most fishermen who want to go out on the water hire an actual fishing guide, or they have their own boat. You know.
Well,
what I mean?
dude, you oughta learn how to fish, and then you could
Hey,
double dip. You know what I mean?
I wish for Christmas every year that they'd send me a friend that could outfish me. Honestly.
If only I knew a guy. No, that sounds like a good time.
Especially, I was gonna say, being out there at Devil's Cove. So, like, the obvious question is, like, how do you hide the boner?
Well, from what I hear, Pornhub just came out with a new pair of shorts.
Dude, this is science. This is the future. I've been saying it. We live in the best time. There's been no time greater than now to be alive. And Pornhub is marketing and selling a fucking bonerless bathing suit. So,
Bonerless bathing suit.
yeah, and I don't know how the fucking physics work, but somehow it takes your boner and just tucks it right to the side immediately, I think. I don't know.
Oh,
It has a boner pocket.
I don't believe it.
I don't think so either. I think it's more of a in the crotch area. It's probably like a harder material.
No, that would suck. What if you got a boner and you're just bumping up against a fucking...
Then you obviously have
Cup
small
or something.
penis if you're just bumping up against it.
No, it's just pressing. Just pressing. That's how you get the crooked dick.
Yeah. crooked dick.
Oh, nobody wants the crooked dick.
Because nothing.
Fell on the ground one too many times, huh?
No, they're doing this thing. I don't know. It's made of a special material. Honestly, I don't know how the science works, but it does something. It pushes it to the side, and it's supposed to make it so that you don't get those surprise boners. People don't see it.
I mean,
And let's be real. Like,
I'll believe it when I
boners
don't
happen.
see it.
but my thing is, if I'm getting a boner, I'm probably just gonna let it show.
Yeah, why are you getting a
Honestly,
boner by the pool and you don't
You're
want
way
people
more
see
likely
that?
to get laid if you show them your boner than if you don't show them your boner.
This little.
I like where your head's at.
Yeah.
This is
I'm
actually,
gonna
this is
let it
actually
shine.
a good point.
I think. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
It goes back to the age old. If you don't ask, the answer's always no. You know what I mean?
Might as well ask everybody.
That's right. If you got a boner, show it off.
Yeah, I guess so. Kids,
Kids.
if you get a boner in Devil's Cove, just let it fly.
Yeah.
But maybe where this swimsuit could come into better practice is like,
In a business setting.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Or
Your middle school speech teacher is going to be like, "Why'd you wear a swimsuit on presentation day?"
when you don't want those boners to show up, and we all know the sneaky ninja boner that like has no like you're just sitting there hanging out, and you're like,
what the
boner,
fuck?
what the fuck are you doing here, bro? I did not ask you to be here. I didn't call you. And the boner's like, I don't know, man, but here I am.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's that whole age of like 13 to 36. The wind blows the wrong way, and you're gonna get hard on.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's problematic at times for sure.
I definitely feel like the wind would have to blow the right way, not the wrong way.
Well, it depends on how bad you didn't want to get a boner.
I mean, let's be real. If the wind blows, it's,
Yeah,
I think another
blows.
another
help-
time that those shorts would be perfect would be like, you know, if you're a kid, young adult, and you're hanging out with your new girlfriend and her parents at their pool or something like that.
Hell yeah.
Then you would definitely want some boner trapping shorts.
I like that message. Kids, go to Pornhub and buy these fucking swim shorts.
no, seriously though.
Wait, ask your parents first.
What's the tech behind it?
ask.
Do we
Use
know
their credit
anything
card.
about this? What's the deal with it?
Dude, I don't know. I don't know what the tech is there.
It's made of a special material.
It's
I think we need to do
nanotech.
some market research. Somebody needs to order this shit right now,
Come on, y'all know y'all are jealous that you didn't think of it.
and let's test it out.
Man,
I've thought of a lot of cool things, but boner hiding shorts that's pretty good.
Somebody was doing their fucking research.
If you can
Yeah.
pull it off,
I mean, somebody had a problem with their boner.
You can
shorts.
pull it
can
off,
I
so to
not?
speak.
Yeah, like can I not be R&D for that product?
yeah, seriously.
All right, you want me to check out here? This is what's this going on.
Check it
I'm
out,
I'm gonna
yeah.
read it.
Let's get
Pornhub
it out.
unveils its bonerless bathing suit to prevent unwanted public erections.
Public. Okay, so who wears their freaking board shorts in public
Who wears their boner
when they're not at swimming?
So you need to have wanted boners in private. Mm-hmm.
Not unwanted
That's
boners.
the goal, right?
Is there such a thing as an unwanted? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Getting an unwanted erection in public is every man's worst nightmare. But an ingenious piece of new technology that could make that a thing of the past. That's because adult entertainment website Pornhub has launched a limited edition bonerless bathing swimsuit. Equipped with a special lining to help conceal protruding body parts, if you know what I mean.
Every man's worst nightmare is definitely
What-
not getting a boner.
what
That's
do they
false
mean?
advertising.
So
for
it's
sure.
special built-in lining made from 100% lycra,
Boner grease.
LYCRA.
boner hider
It's
material.
it's magic boner hiding material.
BHMs.
Hell yeah.
And,
We'll call
and
them
I'm
BHMs.
guessing
It's
so
like
it's
camo-
tighter than the actual shorts around your body, correct?
It's designed to hold down your member without strangling it or making it uncomfortable.
That sounds
That's what I'm
impossible.
saying. If you got a piece of plastic there, you're
You're uncomfortable.
you're bumping up against it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I
That's how,
feel you,
that's
I
how you
feel
get
you.
that crooked dick. You don't need that.
Again, I'll believe it when I don't see it.
That's a good point.
I mean,
So, yeah or nay? Does Whiskey and Whiskers approve these bonerless swimsuit or no?
no.
I approve
No.
the market
I'm a
research
nay.
on the boner list.
I'm a nay.
No, I'm for it.
I think
Okay.
we need to test it. I think you're all making assumptions based on a paragraph from
Yeah.
Pornhub.
I agree. Pornhub, send us some bonerless swimsuits. We live right by the lake.
We'll
we can
try it
test
out.
this shit.
Yeah,
If
I'll
you're-
wear them every freaking day.
If
I
you're
mean,
real,
literally.
we will support this message straight up.
But
Oh, Glenn. See, that's perfect for Captain Glen.
no, so
All these bitches are getting naked on your boat. You don't want your boner flying around. You're trying to be professional.
It's definitely
True.
where we started.
True. Well, like I said earlier, hey,
So that's the
Hey.
vibe. That's the vibe then for Whiskey and Whiskers. I think is there's a time and a place for everything, and there's definitely a time for bonerless swimsuits, but there's also a time for letting those boners fly.
Yeah, for sure.
fair.
Maybe the time. Well, hear me out for a second. Have you ever thought about what it would be like to beat off to yourself?
No.
Why? Why wouldn't you? Like,
Is that like boating off to yourself?
would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. You know what I mean? But so
you're
yeah,
comparing,
but you're a dude.
yeah, but that's the thing.
That yeah.
Snapchat
you're
made
comparing
a
yourself
filter.
to Buffalo Bill. You're tucking your dick in. Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me.
No. Hear me out. So Snapchat made the filter that can turn you into the opposite gender.
Oh, I see where you're going.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on this? Because like it's happened by now for sure. Somebody's done it.
Whoa.
I think it would be funnier if they didn't know they were doing it, but I don't know how you would pull that off.
Yeah.
so to speak.
Yeah.
I think it's this week's homework for you. Give it a try out. Let us know how it goes.
Take your glasses off, though, man.
Yeah.
So,
shave my beard.
Next time on Whiskey and Whiskers,
Shave your beard.
how long does it take to beat off to yourself?
I mean, if I have to be the case study, then I'll eat that bullet. But
You'll jump on that grenade for us.
He's
Choppy.
all on the R&D. He's all
No
on the
cheating.
R&D.
No cheating.
I haven't gone there yet. But
See, I haven't played with Snapchat enough to know, like, what if my Snapchat self is not hot?
What the fuck is Snapchat?
What if I'm an ugly motherfucker on Snapchat?
it's basically just
like in real life.
It's basically just a camera that has filters, and then you can send them to your friends in the app. But that doesn't matter because the main thing is that you can beat off to yourself.
All right.
Like that's the most important thing Snapchat has done in their history.
Yeah, so download this app.
I mean, nobody beats me off better than me.
Yeah.
I beg to differ. That's a whole nother topic. But,
Glenn's offended. He thinks he can beat you up.
no.
But like I guess that goes into.
That goes into rub and tugs.
Well, no,
Just saying.
I was gonna say that's Rule 34, just proving it right again. There's porn of me now.
It comes all the way back around. Like, I've beat off to everything else. Like, Rule 34, right, is everything.
Yeah.
Except for
So I beat off
motorcycle
everything else
gun
and-
nakedness.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, which doesn't exist.
Still haven't seen anything. Post it on our Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Post it somewhere.
Yeah,
and
guys,
link it.
come on.
But there
Make it
needs to
happen.
be a naked girl with a gun on a motorcycle. It fucking isn't real.
Doesn't exist. It's
On the
fact.
internet.
Doesn't exist.
On the internet.
On the internet.
Right. There's been much research into this. On the internet.
Yeah.
It does not exist.
This is one of those things that people don't believe when you tell them.
Yeah.
You know?
I know. I didn't believe it when you told me.
And it's fact.
Yeah. I mean, 100%.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you find this, post that shit.
For sure.
This is America. This is 2019. Let's take another shot. I think we have to give this Knob Creek
Another try.
another
Another
taste.
shot.
Well, you can't judge a whiskey off of one
Off a
shot.
single
Definitely
shot.
not off the first shot either, because that you're
Yeah, that's when you're fresh.
sober. you
Those were air quotes. But
Yeah, air quotes were had just now.
Clearly, research needs to be done about what happens when you drink a whole bottle.
yeah.
A whole bottle.
That's what I mean. You can't rank the whiskey
I'll
Cheers,
jump on that
boys.
grenade.
until the end of the episode.
Here's to me. Here's to you. If you don't like me, then fuck you.
Fuck you.
I saw a really
That's
weird.
some powerful shit, dude. It's strong. It's definitely very strong.
100 proof.
Yeah, it's strong. When it's real strong. I feel like the water boy trying to talk about it.
Makes my paws tingle.
I'm gonna chase it with this coffee, of which I put some of the pecan pie whiskey in. We got some stuff here called Pie Hole. It's actually called that. It's a pecan whiskey, and mix it with black coffee, and it turns out it's incredible. A couple episodes back, I took a shot of whiskey and chased it with a cup of coffee, and that gave me the idea because it was surprisingly refreshing. I'm a little worried that I'm going to need whiskey in my coffee going forward. So,
Wait, are you fucking with me right now? Are you telling me that you can put whiskey in coffee and it tastes good?
absolutely am. Fucking
No man
telling
should
you
have
that.
this much power.
That's what I said.
Dude.
It gets you drunk and it amps you up.
I'm kind of concerned that I might have
Giga bomb.
discovered the equalizer of the atomic bomb or something. Like, oh shit, it's this wonderful discovery, but it's dangerous.
How does it taste? Tell me how it
Dude,
tastes.
it's fucking delicious.
It tastes like Christmas.
What if you did like a shot of
It
espresso?
tastes like black coffee.
Dude, it's even better.
Which,
it's
if
even
you're gonna
better
drink
cold.
coffee, you better drink it black.
Wait, so do you have creamer in this coffee?
Not at
No.
all. Black coffee and pecan pie whiskey, and that's it.
No
See-
sugar, nothing.
Back in my day, I used to use Bailey's as creamer, and that's good shit. Irish
That's
coffee.
pure sugar, though.
Hell yeah.
This is whiskey.
And
It's
it's
cream.
milky.
it's creamy sugar. It's perfect.
Who doesn't want to mix milk and liquor?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out pecan
sounds
whiskey
terrible.
mixes better than the milky liquor.
Here, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try this.
It's fucking good, man. It's even better.
Dude,
cold.
so this is a true story. You know how all the vodka companies started coming out with sweet tea vodka?
Vodka, what's that?
It's Russian whiskey.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Russian whiskey.
All the Russian whiskey companies started coming out with sweet tea Russian whiskey.
Uh-huh.
And this.
I've seen this, I've heard
so that was probably, I don't know, 8 years ago, 7, 8 years ago. That
It's for
started
like,
happening.
when you're going out to like a PTA meeting and you're gonna drink with all the,
Yeah.
like a brunch or something.
So when I was 16, which Mom, if you're listening, I apologize, but whenever I was 16, we went to the beach for my birthday, and I had a handle of vodka for my birthday, and
Because you're 16.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so we we drank the vodka periodically throughout the trip, but then at a certain point we had to like hide the bottle or something. And so we had a gallon of sweet tea, and we just like drank half the sweet tea and dumped the rest of the vodka in the sweet tea bottle or the jug. And then we just drank, sweet tea vodka.
And your mom never got parched and wanted a sip of sweet tea?
No, I mean, we still hid the tea. but
that'll give you a wicked hangover, man.
That's
Oh,
just
yeah.
my jug of pee.
but that
Mom.
was
Yeah, but they're 16. They don't give a fuck.
yeah, I'm 20.
Hangovers aren't even a thing.
Yeah, I'm 26.
No, not at
so
all.
that was like 10 and a half years ago. And then like 2 years later, sweet tea Russian whiskey started showing up everywhere.
Sweet tea Russian whiskey.
Yeah.
I think we should go to Starbucks and be like, bro, put pecan whiskey in your coffee and sell that shit by the can.
Yeah.
Seriously.
People would buy it.
Oh, I
Yeah.
would buy it.
That's tasty shit, bro. I just tasted it.
Man, I would buy it as a cold brew option.
There's no sugar in that. Just
Well, I mean, there's sugar in the whiskey.
sugar whiskey.
Yeah.
That's like next level for like coffee shops. You know what I mean? If you could
Hell
combine
yeah.
alcohol and like the barista aspect of it. You know what I mean?
So you can
what
get
I'm saying.
real
Dude,
jittery
fuck-
and drunk.
Fuck telling the coffee shops about this. Let's open a coffee shop that has a liquor license.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
I'm with it, bro.
Well,
I'm
I mean,
good.
it's the Four Loco marketing concept, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing,
Power thirst.
and we all know how that ends.
come chill, study.
People have
and
heart
get
attacks and
fights
die
always,
drunk.
Always dangerous to play drinking games with Four Loko for sure.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
dude.
you don't want to be beer bonging Four Loco or doing Das Boot or some crazy shit with.
When the original recipe of Four Loko was getting nixed, like they were like, "Hey, bro, you can't do this anymore. This is not cool." We had a going away party for Four Loko, and that was think about what the average shit show of any person drinking Four Loko looks like.
The average shit show.
Yeah, and then make a whole party like 60, 70 people that are just like drinking Four Loko. But yeah, so I had an experience with playing drinking games with Four Loko, and it's not advised. Really, it's a poor life decision.
You feel kind of like a crackhead when it's all over.
What
Yeah.
drinking game did you play?
You can't sleep.
Oh, we need to. This is Whiskey and Whiskers. I feel like we need to talk about the different kinds of drinking games and
Yeah.
and the different ways we play them.
That's
Well, everybody's
actually
got a different set of rules for every game.
for sure. All right,
House
so
rules.
yeah, let's start with basics. What are the beer pong rules for Whiskey and Whiskers?
First of all, I think the heating up bullshit in beer pong, that's
whack.
fucking stupid, dude.
Yeah.
Get that shit out of here.
For all of you who don't know what that is, that's when you make 2 consecutive shots. You call heating up, and if you make the third one,
Then
you
someone
can-
licks your butthole.
you continue to shoot until you miss.
That's dumb.
That's dumb.
And Blake
So-
likes it when they do that to him.
Yes, but I don't need beer pong for that to happen.
Whiskey and Whiskers is standard rules. If you make 2 cups, it's balls back. If you bounce, it's 2 cups.
If you both make the same cup, it's 3 cups.
Yeah.
I think all distractions are welcome and in fact
Oh
encouraged.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Especially monkey balls.
As long as you don't actually touch the ball.
Oh
in flight.
yeah, monkey balls, tits out. Like it don't matter. Spread your butt cheeks. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You can
it
only-
The goat, the brain, whatever.
this gameplay. I mean,
Yeah.
Let the boner fly. Don't wear your Pornhub.
Don't wear your Pornhub shorts.
Yeah.
Definitely don't wear your Pornhub shorts to beer pong.
what about volleyball pong? Have you
Yeah, I've actually played a lot of that because I used to bartend at
explain
a
it
bar.
to us? What is it?
It's basically the same as beer pong, but you have a giant trash can, what is it? A
6.
50-gallon trash can, right?
Yeah, like a brute trash can.
Right, and then a volleyball, and it's basically the same rules as beer pong, but it's like shooting basketball.
Kind of like giant Jenga.
It's the
But
same,
giant beer pong.
but different.
Giant
More
beer
drinking.
pong. Do you have to drink a trash can full of beer each time?
Yes. Yes.
Well,
I feel like
whiskey
if
and
you
whiskers
don't-
rules, yes.
I feel like
I mean,
if you don't,
so here's the
it's
thing,
not.
though. If you haven't played Giant Jenga, that's another game. If you haven't played Giant Jenga, then you think that the giant beer pong is a lot of drinking. Giant Jenga is actually, in fact, probably more drinking, because the way that works on Giant Jenga is when you slide one out, it'll tell you what you have to do, how much you have to drink, or what have you, and then if it doesn't topple, then you can give that to somebody.
Can't you write that shit
Damn,
on
I
Little
didn't know
Jenga too, though?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Fair enough. Fair fucking enough. You could write that shit on Little Jenga.
Yeah, but no, you can't do that. That's against the rules.
Yeah.
I like giant Jenga. That makes sense. What about the all-time classic? And I feel like the millennials that listen, they're gonna shit on this idea, this concept of one of the greatest drinking games. and
Quarters.
that's quarters.
Hell
I
yeah.
knew it.
Why didn't this catch on with this generation? What the fuck's wrong with this generation?
People hate what they can't do, Blake.
It takes more skill than...
No, it doesn't, dude. You can be fucking 12 years old and play the shit out of quarter.
For sure.
Yeah, you can
Seen it.
definitely play. It doesn't mean you're going to be good.
You can
Bullshit.
be 12 years old and play fucking Mozart if you practice the motherfucker.
That's right. That's right.
Well, that says something about us then. 'Cause I know a guy that played quarters when he was, 12?
It was 11. It was 11. Mom was mad.
So what happened? Go ahead.
Mom was mad.
So I went out on vacation, guys' vacation with the dads and the cousins and whatnot. And it's kind of a family tradition. We've played quarters since way back. And my dad and his brothers decided that this was the year that I was going to learn how to play quarters. And so I learned. And they're not absolutely 100% terrible parents, because they didn't let me actually drink for this game of quarters. They actually made me drink root beer. But they beat me so terribly bad at quarters at 11 years old that I threw up fucking root beer.
Hell yeah. That's teaching them young.
That's pretty rough.
And so I learned how to play quarters then, and it always fascinated me beyond that point. So I played for many, many, many years, and I would agree that it is the all-time classic drinking game, and deserves such respect.
Fair enough. That's what we would call an all-American drinking game,
Yeah.
right?
And
Quarter-
quarters and cups existed way before ping pong balls and fucking Dixie cups.
And quarters is versatile. You can play quarters with like
Shots?
5 people sitting around a table and they're all bouncing quarters in or whatever. Or you can do we've perfected the art of one-on-one competitive quarters.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like tennis, and like I get 2 shots, I make my first one. If I make my second one, which is my challenge, then it's your turn. But if I miss, I have to drink, or I can pass, and then it's your volley and you shoot. And if you miss, you can shoot a second one, or you can pass. If you shoot the second one and make it, it's like you never missed. Or I can challenge. If you make one, I challenge. If I miss, I drink 2, and it's still your volley, and it still counts towards your ultimate end game of trying to make 5, and it's a skunk. So what you're going for is to make 5 in a row without them making 1, and it's all about volleys. And it gets real competitive. It gets real fucking...
I think what this calls for is to show people how to get the rules and stuff. Maybe we can record a quarters game at one point, throw it up on YouTube.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, definitely.
I
You
wanted
can post
to-
it on your Instagram or your Facebook.
Yeah. So maybe one day, future.
I have a couple of drinking games that I think nobody else has ever tried before.
Do tell. I'm curious.
So, are you guys familiar with Boone's Farm?
Oh.
Yes.
Yes. Kind of like MD 2020.
But better. You're gonna want. So first of all, you're gonna want the Blue Hawaiian. That's the classiest wine to drink, right?
You don't want to miss the life experience. Of
I feel like
filling
when I
up
drank
Blue
Boone's
number
Farm, I was
8.
never old enough to have a hangover. But if I drank it now, I would feel like death the next day.
Oh, it's a horrible hangover. So check this game
Regrettable
out.
hangovers. Yeah.
This is how the Boone's Farm game happens. I have a full bottle of Boone's Farm. You have a full bottle of Boone's Farm. We both crack it at the same time. We cheers. We take a little sip, and then we just hang out. And every once in a while, I take a sip, and then every once in a while, you take a sip. The goal is to finish that Boone's Farm first. And most normal humans cannot just chug an entire bottle of Boone's Farm, nor would they try. Why would you? Because that's fucking crazy. But
Neanderthals.
what ends up happening is 2 people sit around watching each other, bullshitting, talking about dicks and buttholes, and you start to see them like getting closer, and you start to drink more, and as you drink more, they start to drink more, and it gets to about halfway, and you're like, I can chug this. And the other person's thinking the same thing. I can chug this. And it always ends with 2 people chugging half a bottle of Boone's Farm. You end up drinking a whole bottle.
Of course.
You know?
Well, how else would you drink Boone's Farm? You got to drink a whole bottle at least.
Yeah.
That level of classy game is right up there with Edward 40 hands.
Dude, okay, so coming from a different generation here, I'm the millennial generation where we didn't play quarters. I did because I hung out with older people. But in my age group, we had some pretty glorious games ourselves. So Edward 40 hands is one of those for sure. So for those of you who have never played, what you do is you're going to go to the store and you're going to buy 2 40s.
4
And
40s
then-
because you need a co-pilot.
40, 40s
for
meaning
yourself.
40 ounce
2 for
beer.
yourself.
That's what's cool about that game, though. Is like it's all self-motivated. You know?
Yeah.
You're not.
So
Buy all the 40s.
yeah, just clear their whole rack. Preferably Steel Reserve. Why
Or
not?
Mickey's.
You're just
Oh, God.
No, but so you get 2 40s, and then
Some OE.
you
A
get
roll of duct tape.
yeah, a roll of duct tape, and then you're going to go back to your house and you're going to duct tape the 40s to your hands.
You're going to put them in your hands like you're holding them to drink them.
Yeah.
And then you're going to wrap your hands and the 40 so that you cannot put the 40 down.
Mm-hmm. And then you're going to drink both of them, and you cannot unduct tape either hand until they are both gone.
Let me just be clear. When he says you cannot unduct tape either hand, you can't anyways because your hand's duct taped to a bottle.
Yeah.
So the only way you're going to get out is if somebody lets you out. You need to finish.
You can get out. You can use your teeth and shit. But
You need to finish both 40s before you can take a piss.
This sounds like I'm about to piss myself.
So it's awesome because then you get people trying to pee and like dude, I've seen crazy shit. Like we did an under 40 hands with.
I'm pretty
probably,
sure I could beat 90% of people at this game.
probably like 50 people at one point, and it was hysterical. Like we had tiki torches in the yard, and people like laid out cigarettes on the
That's so awesome.
on the railing of the porch so that
so
they
you
could just
just went
walk
to-
up. Yeah,
I've
and
only
then
drank-
like, dude, people started having to pee, and there was like people trying to undo people's zippers. And, dude, it's pretty funny shit.
That's so
I can
awesome.
see how that goes. That's a good time.
But so
I
that's
see you working. This was never a thing that I experienced, but I see where your head's at.
You
yeah.
drank 40s though, right?
Oh, we've all drank
yeah,
40s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've played Edward 40 hands with Chop
yeah.
because I was one of those older people he's hanging out with, or I was hanging out with him and his friends, one of the two.
So that's a that's an up and coming,
No, dude, that's gone.
Dude,
Well,
apparently,
I guess
It was like,
no, like it's
crashed.
Yeah, it's already hit its peak, but I meant like it's gonna be Hall of Fame, but later. Like it had its rise, and now it's fall.
I don't
Later on,
think-
people are gonna look
Okay,
at it
he's
and be
retired.
like,
I don't think-
He just hadn't been
it's
inducted
Hall-
into the Hall of Fame.
I don't think
Yeah.
it's Hall of Fame worthy. I think it's an honorable mention, but definitely not Hall of Fame
Nah,
worthy.
so
Would you
honor-
take your son on a trip and go play Edward
I mean,
40 hands with him and
for
duct
the
tape
laugh-
Sprites to his hand or
For
something?
the laugh, definitely.
I drank 2
that's a rite of
Sprites,
passage. I don't know what you're talking about.
2
My,
3 liters of Sprite in both hands.
That's a rite of
Fucking threw up
passage.
everywhere.
The day that I get to play drinking games with my son and beat him, that'll be a happy day for me.
my honorable
That's a rite
mention
of
is Power Hour.
What are you going to do if you can't beat
That's
it?
intense, man.
That'll be
Power
even
Hour's a
more
good
of
one.
problem.
That's serious.
Yeah.
It's the volume over time, you know. You
It's
can't-
one-
you
It's
can't
one
do that.
one shot of beer every minute for an hour, which sounds not that bad.
That's a fucking lot.
Yeah, so it ends up being 5 beers if you do it right, and that doesn't seem like that much. But if you
Yeah, but
if you knock down 5 beers in an hour, evenly spaced at the right, like, dude, it'll fuck you up.
Yeah, it's something about the intervals. It's something
Yeah,
about
but
the
isn't-
shots.
Yeah,
About
but
30 shots of beer will fuck you up.
But
Yeah.
here's the
The
thing.
last 30 is beating a dead horse.
Yeah.
So I have one that's new up and comer. He's never even. This is his first time in the octagon. This is that style of drinking game. Made it up myself. Lilo and Stitch has this song at the beginning. And every once in a while, there's this motherfucker that just yells hardcore Maori shit in the background. Hai! Huka! Hota! Rada! Every time that guy makes a noise, you take a
Shot
shot.
of beer.
Yeah, but
No,
there's
shot
already a
liquor.
game like that.
Shot
No,
of
this is
whiskey.
Lilo and Stitch, bro. This is
Okay, there's already a game like that though. It's Roxanne.
Dude,
You
that's
put
fucked
put
up.
on the Roxanne song, and every time they say Roxanne, you take
Well,
a drink of your beer.
I heard about Lilo and Stitch before I heard about Roxanne.
Yeah, dude, I've been playing Lilo and Stitch since Lilo and Stitch.
And
came out.
also, Roxanne is
Roxanne's way
Roxanne
older.
is beer because it's pussies that are playing it usually. Lilo and Stitch is hardcore, and you do that shit with liquor, as Blake said, which is fucking dangerous.
I think it ends up being like 13 shots of liquor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and-
in about
Which we all know is
in
really,
about three
really
and a half
smart.
minutes.
It's a good way to start. It's not a good way to be, but it's a good way to start.
It's not a good way to exist.
It's almost like
If
it's like a gauntlet. It's like an endurance game. Like I did fucking Lilo and Stitch. I completed Lilo and Stitch because not many people can do it.
If a shit show is your life goal, then that's a solid way to get there.
Yeah. That's the
So, yeah.
fast track.
So check out that Lilo and Stitch song.
Here's one that I didn't hear about until after it stopped being a thing. Apparently, at some point, this game was a thing, and then it stopped being a thing, and then I heard about it, which was Slap the Bag. Have y'all heard about this one?
Oh, yeah.
That's old, bro.
That was classic. That was going around with when we were playing 40 hands. You play slap the bag at the same time.
that
That's
happens
fucked,
every
dude.
weekend on the lake. By the way, slap the bag is definitely a big thing.
Dude, I did
I've
not.
never
still a
played
big
Slap the
thing.
Bag.
I did not know about this shit. And
You
then
basically
I heard
just
about
pass-
it, and people were talking about it like it's been a thing forever, and I
It
was like, I
has.
had no
It has been a
fucking
thing for a
idea
long
about
time.
this.
Yeah, so what is
I mean,
it?
it's boxed wine.
Yeah, you take a box of Franzia or Franzia, whatever the fuck, and then you
The
open
second
it.
classiest wine
Oh,
right
that
after Boone's
stuff's
Farm.
good, man. Oh, dude.
You get the bag, which is a Swillow pillow.
Yeah, and then you just pass it around, chug it, and slap the bag. It was like a
So here-
victory chug thing.
Kind of like
So
Cheers.
while you're drinking it, so you slap it, and then okay, wait, let me start from the beginning. It's a boxed wine, but you take the bag out of the box. So then you slap the bag, you put the spout in your mouth, you turn the spout on, and as you're drinking it, somebody else is slapping the bag, or you're slapping the bag, and it's forcing wine into your mouth. So of course you have to drink more wine.
And
Slap
then,
the bag.
so the way we always
How
did
does
it
the
is
game work?
the
What
way
does the game mean?
there's
the
no
way,
game.
the way the way that
that's the
we
entirety of
the way that
it.
we did it was basically like you have the bag. Let's say I have the bag. I come up to you and I go, you. And then you have to chug the Franzia while I'm slapping the bag. And then once you're done, you take the bag and you get to go force somebody else to drink Franzia.
Same concept.
Okay. I like it.
Makes sense.
It's very akin to drink the beer, but it's the wine version.
Can we talk about one of my favorites that I'm a leader at?
Oh, fuck. I already know where this is going.
It is the DOS boot.
DOS boot is fucking.
So DOS
difficult
boot,
for me.
you're kids, you're gonna have to buy some hardware,
Some hardware.
but that is, I think that it's like I don't know, it's like the 40 or something. Like it's the most boiled down, basic fucking. This is drinking 101. We took it all the way down to this is boxing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you take drinking down to its rawest form, and that's DOS boot. Pour a bunch of fucking beer
In a boot.
in a boot.
I believe it's about.
A glass boot.
It's
3.5
almost. It's
beers.
it's almost 4 beers. It's 3.5 beers. 3.5 beers, and
And then you chug it.
I didn't see, but I believe there's one person that was a little bit faster than me. But I think I was like 11.5 seconds or something.
Well, we threw our own twist on this game. Everyone that's ever chugged a DOS boot knows you don't want to chug a cold DOS boot,
Right.
Because that shit burns. So then the strategy becomes letting your DOS boot get to room temperature, but you're pulling it out of a keg or pouring it out of beers in the fridge or whatever. So you pour your boot and you're letting it warm up. At any time, someone else can come up and go, drink your DOS boot now because I want to drink it. And if you bitch out, then they drink your DOS boot. If you go, okay, I'm gonna drink it, the boot that I poured, then they immediately have to follow you with a cold ass DOS boot.
Right.
So what that does is make it so that motherfuckers can't be sleeping on this DOS boot, waking up the next morning and drinking that shit or something crazy
Rob.
like that.
Fuck you, Rob.
Letting it sit for 4, 5, 6 hours. You know, like no, fuck that. So it ends up being
Mine wasn't out.
challenge game.
Mine wasn't out long, and nobody called me out. And I believe I'm in second place.
13 seconds?
I think it was 11.5 or 11.6 or something like that.
How many beers? 3.5.
3.5
I think
beers.
it's 3.5.
I've done it in like 13 or 14 seconds, and
Yeah.
it's fucked. Like,
It's pretty wild. The first time I tried it, it wasn't happening faster than like 48 seconds. But the second time, I think I was a little more loose, a little more prepared for it, and knew what I was getting into, and that's the way I was able to just kill it.
I once saw a 160-pound kid fucking do it in less time than a bull ride.
yeah.
Straight up, like less than 8
I thought you guys
seconds.
said it was 9 seconds or
Nah, I
something.
think
No,
it
it's
was 8
8
seconds or
seconds.
less. Yep.
That's pretty incredible.
So we gotta mention one more game, and then we need to hop.
move on.
But yeah, we got Flip
the
Cup.
Cup.
Yeah.
Flip cup.
It's one of my favorites.
So again, just like quarters, this is one of those games that a lot of people can play, or 2 people can one-on-one face off, and that's what I think that I'm terrible at this chugging fucking booze game, but it is a great game because of its versatility.
So
there.
first, I want to start with this because there seems to be a misconception that when you play Flip Cup, you have about a quarter of a solo cup worth of beer, and that's what you chug. This is wrong. You guys
No.
are playing it wrong.
You guys are fucking up, bro.
Yeah, that's some pussy shit. It's a full beer. You chug a full beer, and then you flip the cup. That's what it is. Stop pussyfooting around. It's not a fucking quarter of a sucking solo cup. It's a full solo
It's
cup.
not about flipping the beer, ladies and gentlemen. This is about drinking the beer.
And like Blake, I'm very terrible at chugging 3.5 beers, but I'm not terrible at chugging 1 beer. So I really enjoy the Flip Cup game because it gives me a nice little window there where I can chug 1 beer and flip a cup pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I was real surprised that I got beat at that game the last time we had our games. I couldn't believe that the other new guy beat me.
Can't
It
miss
was
your
kind of a
flip.
fluke. It was a fluke, honestly.
F&Gs, man. They'll get you.
Yeah.
Fucking new guys.
Fucking new guys.
Fucking new guys.
So another shot of whiskey.
Yeah, let's finish this bottle off.
Got to. Fucking 100 proof.
So we're a ways in now. I feel like it's, it's a few shots. What
I think it's safe to critique.
Yeah. What you got?
I like to grade whiskeys on a couple different factors. To me, sweetness, bite, crunchiness, which is that's
The grainy.
that's our garage metric.
Not even a garage metric. I've actually had some really expensive whiskeys right out of the bottle that were just so potent and maybe lacked the sweetness, but had the bite that had almost a crunchy texture to it.
So how do you feel about the sweetness in this? Where are we at?
I feel like the sweetness is right. I feel like the bite is a little bit harsh. It's a lack of crunchy, which I like. Some people like crunchy. I don't like crunchy as much. The bottle's glass. It has a cork. That's very important.
I think the sweetness is right on point. Sweetness and bite, those balance each other out. That's almost one and the same. Like if it's too sweet, I don't like it. If it's got too much bite, honestly, I like a lot of bite, but there is like Old Crow or something like that. That's like that's too much.
Well, even Evans has kind of a
Evans
pretty
got
strong
a pretty
bite.
harsh bite. Yeah. Crunchiness. I think this Knob Creek is pretty good on the crunchy. It seems like it goes down pretty smooth, pretty soft.
Pretty smooth. It doesn't seem to have the crunchy texture for sure, but it's still strong.
I think the bottle is one of the better bottles, aside from maybe Maker's Mark
Or Woodford.
Or Woodford.
Oh, yeah, I
I think
agree.
we're definitely the bottle is above Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, Evan Williams.
I'll agree with that. I always prefer a corked whiskey over a twist off.
And the last metric that we like to judge whiskey on is will it get you drunk?
Well, so I mean, it's 100 proof. I feel like it wins out on that level for sure.
It'll get you drunk.
Every time.
It's fact. It's fact. It's physics and shit. Statistics and shit. All of those things.
Statistics and physics and science.
Yeah.
Now I know you guys don't really fuck with video games as hard as I do, but I do have a little bit of news on that front, so I'm gonna touch on it a little.
Lay down.
But so we got a couple things that are happening that are kind of exciting. So the CD Projekt Red, who made the Witcher series, they have a game in development called Cyberpunk 2077, and we just got word that they're gonna have a demo at E3, which is coming up pretty fast. So that's pretty cool. But the main thing I want to touch on is that a new game came out called Dauntless. Kind of, if any of you guys have ever played Monster Hunter, it's kind of similar to that. You basically go from a hub, you go out, you fight a creature. The battles are a little bit more technical, and it's still pretty action oriented though. And then you get like skins and things like that off these creatures. You go back and you make new weapons and upgrades and things like that from it.
Hey, Chop, I'm really sorry, but what game are you talking about?
It's called Dauntless.
Okay.
So it just launched a few days ago on PS4, Xbox, and PC. It's really good. It has a few issues with servers right now, just going up and down, but they're kind of ironing it out. But
All new games will, especially if they're popular, for sure.
yeah.
Right?
Well, and the major thing here, I would recommend the game to anybody. It's really good. But the main thing that they did that's really fucking cool is that they're one of the first games that is truly cross-platform. So PS4 users can play with Xbox users, can play with PC users.
Well,
And
that's what Fortnite's doing. That's what my kids are all about right now because they can go cross-platform.
And so it's a big step in the right
It's
direction.
about fucking time. God damn, that's where we need to be. This is
so
2019.
It so should have happened in the Call of Duty era.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming,
time ago.
and I'm glad that they're taking a step in the right direction. It's just good. Like there's nothing bad that can come from that. Like it's only gonna make gaming better.
So I'm in a weird spot right now. I've not been playing video games like I have. I feel like most people will go through phases in their life where they either play a lot of video games and they're into it and that's how they're spending their free time,
Yeah.
or they're not really playing a lot. And such is my life for sure. I'll go through years where I'm hardcore gamer and years where I don't play at all. I'm in one of those lulls right now where I'm not gaming. However, I'm moving rooms around and transitioning kind of the dynamics in my house as such to where I'm going to have an opportunity here to get a console, put it on a TV where it is just mine, and I don't have to share with one of my 12 fucking children. I'm not really sure which direction I want to go because the most recent like gaming I've gotten into is when I steal my son's Nintendo Switch and start playing Mario Kart.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I'm kind of about the Nintendo games and their lack of thoughtfulness into it, and just like it's a game and it's challenging and it's entertaining and it's enough to keep you on
Nintendo hits
edge,
that mark every
but
time.
not enough to like get you. I mean, way too
Nintendo's
pissed
all
off.
about the eye-hand coordination. Other than that, there's no puzzles.
Yeah,
nothing
it's
that.
Well, I don't know. The Lego shit has a lot of things. And that's
Well, I
something
mean,
that
yeah, and I guess
so-
like Zelda.
No,
too,
it's about
but-
bright colors and zoning out, I feel like.
But my point being is I'm about to find myself in a spot where I think I might potentially get back into some gaming. For the five of you here, like what do you guys suggest as far as what system I should look into, or what games I should go into? Because I've been
I'm
out
a
of it
PlayStation
for
guy.
honestly about a year or
PlayStation.
two.
I'm a PlayStation guy.
Yeah, PlayStation is definitely my choice. I mean, PC has its merits, but it's a bitch. Like it's just hard to get into.
I could never get into PC. I've never been a PC guy.
I think
Not since,
every
1996.
person that's into any kind of online anything, that's then probably the most of the people that are listening to this are like going to be like PC Master Race all the way. And I get it. Like that's where the future is going. Not everybody has a computer though, and consoles are really accessible to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Well, and consoles even the platform. If you go PC, you don't know what kind of souped up, hyped up computer the other motherfucker may be on. He may have a processor that's like 3 times as fast as yours, and just be able to kill you every time before you can even reload. Like,
this would be a good question to ask our listeners. Like,
Yeah.
What console do you recommend? How do you feel about the Switch versus the Xbox versus the PlayStation?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, give us feedback on that. Like, I personally, I enjoy console game. I do play PC gaming only for games that are PC exclusive. So like, I'm a League of Legends player, things like that. So those games I do stick to PC. However, on console, it's PlayStation and Switch, and I feel like those are two completely different types of gaming, and I feel like there's room for both. Nobody needs an Xbox. But anyway,
I support this message.
the main thing that I wanted to bring
Alienate
up, though,
all the Xbox players. Why
oh,
not?
yeah, fuck them.
The PC.
But the main thing that I wanted to bring up was that the cross-platform that Dauntless is doing is really great, and I'm looking forward to what other companies are going to do now that they're actually kind of like playing nice with each other. But so I mentioned that Dauntless was having server issues a little bit, and new game, free to play. There's a shitload of people. It's going to happen. But I was trying to play the game, and so I was having issues getting in or whatever. So I pulled up their Twitter because that's where they do their updates.
You got to
and stuff.
spit on it if you're having issues getting in.
Yeah.
You gotta lick it before you take it.
So I hop on the Twitter and looking if they had any updates on what was going on. And so they had this tweet, and it was this weird thing, and it's happened to me twice recently. And I'll tell you about the other time in a minute. But basically, they had an update, and I watched it go live. Like when I clicked their Twitter page, it said like 1 second, and it had 0 likes. And I watched the counter roll up to 1 like and 1 retweet, and 20 likes, and 10 retweets, and 50 likes, and you know what I mean. So I watched it happen, and it's kind of a weird thing. Like
Watch
so,
something go viral.
yeah, like so it happened on another thing. It was on 420. I was sitting up here, and I was with you, Blake, and we pulled up some. I was trying to show you Sadistic, who's a rapper I really like, and I tried to pull up some of his music, and he dropped an album at midnight on 420, and so we were hanging in here on 419. I go to pull up music, and his video was like 20 minutes old. Has 100 views. And it's his newest album now.
And now it's got 1 million views.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But it's a trip. Like, have y'all ever had something happen like that where you were watching something just like go viral as you're looking at it?
Dude,
like, from new to
I have often like loathed the day that I like trip on my way to the car in the parking lot at work, and somebody catches it on video and like posts it on the internet, and it goes viral, and it's just
Is this going to be the
busting
thing?
my
Is this going to be
ass,
the
like-
thing that goes viral? Is me busting my
Yes,
ass?
it's gonna be the thing that goes viral is me busting my ass, or somebody gets a hold of like a 1990 Sony fucking Handycam video of like me and my friends like trying to skateboard and busting my nuts.
Oh God, I have those videos out there.
They
I think-
exist. That's what I'm saying. These videos exist.
I feel like every kid that was like between the ages of 9 and 17 when Jackass came out has Handycam videos of them doing stupid fucking shit.
Bro, I'll do you
Oh,
one better.
man.
Fucking 15 years before Jackass came out, I was making Handycam videos of me and my friends skateboarding downtown. Like,
That's where it started, right? With skateboard videos, and then,
oh yeah,
and then
dude.
once they realized people really liked watching people fall down.
Dude, there is an epic
Get fucked
skateboarding
up.
video out there of me and my buddies downtown. It was just an epic video. I was a rollerblader. I didn't skateboard, but I was
Fruit Peter.
halfway decent at it. Other friends skateboarded, but yeah, one of my buddies, one of my rich friends at the time, he got his fucking hands on like a $400 Handycam, which was a lot of fucking money in 1994. You know what I mean? And yeah, we skated around downtown Austin. Filmed it. We got some chicks. It turns out if you had a video camera back then, like chicks would just show their tits because they're like, yeah, it's a video camera. Dude, made some badass skate videos, and those videos are floating around somewhere. Somebody's got them. They're in an attic. Like, they exist, and I'm like, oh, The day that those come out, oh fuck, we're all fucked.
It won't be in your lifetime. It'll be like a
Somebody's gonna-
geologist or
yeah.
something in 1,000 years is going to dig
Discovers
up
a
a fucking.
VCR.
Yeah.
Well, in these days, I mean, humanity's pretty fucking stupid. Like, there's a lot of viral videos out there of people doing stupid ass shit. So, like, what are the odds if anybody does find it that it's really gonna go viral? But it's always got to be a fear in the back of our heads in like this day and age, right?
Yeah, remember that one time I rammed a bike off a fucking ramp and crashed and just nosedived right into the asphalt? We definitely caught it on a Sony Handycam back in the day.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Everybody loves doing hood rat shit with their friends. Like that's classic. Like
Oh man, that was the best part about Jackass was the hood rat shit, and that you were like 12 and you had to imitate it.
oh,
Dude,
yeah.
we
You
used
were
to do
12
crazy
when
hood rat.
Jackass came out?
Yeah, man.
No, you weren't.
I was 6th grade when I first saw it.
Our hood rat
Yeah.
shit didn't always. In fact, most of the times it didn't have a handy cam. It was just, dude, boys are fucking stupid,
Yeah,
right?
fact.
And
Boys
we do
are still
stupid,
stupid,
shit.
even now.
And when you grow up poor, like I did, dude, you get into some hood rat shit.
Like shit in the backseat of
Dude,
somebody's car.
Okay, I'm gonna argue this a little bit. I think that some of the rich kids get into more hood rat shit than the poor kids ever even. see.
Some, yes, a slimmer amount.
Dude,
but
they
yeah,
can get into more hood rat shit because they got financial backing.
exactly.
That's
Yeah,
what
but
I'm
then it's
saying.
not hood rat shit. It's just fucking.
Then it's power moves.
debauchery. It's
No,
just,
it's
Yeah,
power moves.
this is like touching that limit where you're not.
Dude, technically, if you steal your dad's Porsche and get all fucked up on drugs and crash it into a stripper, like
Crash it into a stripper.
that's pretty hood rat shit. And granted, you're rich, but that's pretty hood rat shit.
Is
You
that
stole a
what he
car-
did?
Well, I'm just giving an example. Here.
Uh-huh.
I'm not trying to incriminate nobody.
It wasn't a Porsche.
so.
Crashed it into a stripper.
Definitely, it was a Trans Am.
So I grew
There
up-
was a stripper in it, but whatever.
I grew up in the Shores,
Shorsh?
and that's where the trailers, that's where the mobile homes were. That's where the people that mowed the grass for the people that live in Lakeway lived.
Yep, fact.
And
Immigration visited there often.
dude, we'd drive that fucking go-kart around as hard as we could drive a 5 horsepower go-kart, you know?
I'm gonna
And-
fuck you up and tell you I drove a go kart around River Place.
And our parents used to be like, don't get on running deer. Whatever you do, don't get on running deer. Just stay, keep it on this block or whatever. So I'm out on running deer, driving this go-kart,
As one does.
and this fucking cop pulls up behind me and bloop, bloop, does one of those, you know?
Run from
Immediately.
him? You had to run from him, right?
And dude, fuck yeah, I ran from him.
hell
Are you
yeah,
kidding
dude.
me?
You don't wanna get
We're in the
caught.
Shores, and dude, I don't care if I'm in a 5 horsepower go kart. I'll outrun the cops, man. And so I get back on these fucking twisties, and I go up the hill, and he's right behind me, like just creeping. He's not even trying.
What are they gonna do though? Run over a little kid? I mean,
But-
seriously, you're gonna get away.
But I think in their brains they're like, dude, I'm gonna catch this kid for sure. Like, I'm not even catch him. I'm just gonna follow him until he stops. And dude,
Runs out of gas.
I booked it around a blind corner, and I take that hard left as hard as I can go, and I slide those fucking back tires, and then immediately fucking crank to the right into the woods. Boom. I crashed that go-kart so fucking hard into the woods that those fucking cops made that left turn, drove right past. They didn't even see me, Barry.
Nice.
yeah, but then you
Hell
have to carry
yeah.
that crash go kart out.
Oh,
of
yeah.
the woods.
Now we got to drag this go-kart out of the trees.
See, nobody thinks about it. Like when you're fucking driving some kind of machine down into a place that shouldn't go, like you're gonna have to get that motherfucker out of there, and that's the shit that really sucks.
Dude, I
I've
lost
always
in
been
the
a dirt
shores.
bike guy myself. Not.
You can definitely outrun the
You can
cops on
crash
a dirt bike.
into the woods
Oh.
too. Like,
you could do a whole lot with a dirt bike. Yeah, you can definitely run from the cops on a dirt bike.
I got another one. So, we're just hanging out in the shores or whatever, and there's fucking dude. I wish I could explain that. There's like trailers with boarded up windows. There's fucking chickens, bro. Like this is the neighborhood that I grew up in, and dude, there's a car. I don't know. It's a car parked on the side of the road, and
I don't
like
know.
it's not. It's been there for 2-3 weeks. Fucking
Years.
someone takes the wheels off of it. It's no tires. Now it's on cinder blocks, still sitting there.
T-tops are gone.
So, I mean, if you're a responsible 12-year-old boy in a go-kart, you stop and throw a cinder block through the window, right? Like that's what you do.
Yeah,
Got to.
you definitely break shit.
So I'm standing on the hood of this fucking car after I just smashed the windshield, and this car comes up behind me and honks, and we just, oh shit, jump in the go-kart, bail.
Oh yeah.
Go-kart is the escape vehicle in the when you're doing hood rat shit.
So I grew up with some other friends as well that were miniature mechanics when we were kids, and we had cars by the time we were like 10 years old, and we lived on dirt roads, you know. So we were driving by the time we were like 10, 11 years old.
Yeah. Dude, my daughter is driving around.
Just
She's 11.
Craziness, wild stuff.
My daughter's driving around her fucking ranches, and she's 11. Fucking might find her in Elgin somewhere. Not even bullshit.
So this one time, my cousin and I, we're trying to find a place to like build a fort or something, you know, and we find this clearing, and there's those, you know, those coolers that are in the grocery store that have like where you find the cheese, you know, like it's cold, it's kind of a refrigerator, but it's open, you know. It was one of those sitting in the woods, and we're like, all right, we're gonna flip this thing over. So we start rocking it back and forth. And we can't fucking flip this motherfucker because all the weight, all the refrigerant, like heavy shit is at the bottom and the top is super light. So you like almost get it to about to tip over
right
and it
back up.
fucking goes back over. And then we're on either side. Just, I mean, we're making a racket. And this dude comes out in his front porch and he's like, "What the fuck are y'all doing?" And he shoots a shotgun. We're like, "Oh shit!" We start bailing, and he shoots it off again. And I don't think he was shooting at us, but he was trying to scare us for sure. And he shoots that shotgun into the woods, and we can hear those pellets like rattling through the trees. One of the scaredest moments in my entire life. And that's how we grew up in Apache Shores.
That's how we grew up in Apache Shores. That's pretty
If you
hardcore.
haven't gotten really super drunk and went and bought a whole bunch of spray paint from Walmart, spray painted the side of a fence. Were you ever really a kid?
Yeah, did you ever really do hood rat shit with your friends?
Probably not.
Probably not. You know, I mean, I remember being young, and me and my friends would, you know, wait till the parents go to sleep and steal parents' cars.
Oh yeah,
all the time.
that's how you get to Walmart to get the spray paint.
Yeah, I mean, it was a regular thing. Happened every single weekend.
For sure.
That was just what we did.
I like doing hood rat shit with my friends.
That's a classic pastime. That's the American dream.
Yeah.
Stealing your parents' car while they're asleep.
Dude, that's right up there with wrecking a car when you leave the strip club. Like, I'm not sure I know anybody that hasn't wrecked a car when they left the strip club.
That's a fact.
I think that's just what you're supposed to do when you leave a strip club, right? Like even if
I mean, you gotta at least
strip club?
sideswipe one of the cars that are there. I mean,
For sure.
even if you're sober, like out of principle, you gotta, you know.
yeah.
Just
Throw
tag
it
somebody
over.
real fast. Yeah.
Trade some paint. Trade some paint. Cruise down a fucking construction site instead of a road, you know?
Smash curb.
Smash curb. Yeah.
Just run it over.
I feel like this is just SOP, right? Like standard operating procedure.
Yeah. At the very least, when you get home, you got to park too close to the curb, so you just like grind your fucking rim and tires against the curb.
Knock your fucking hubcap off your whiskey in a cheap ass car.
Yeah.
I'm having an epiphany. Did we just incriminate ourselves? What's the statute of limitations on smashing a car windshield?
No, I was totally asking for a friend, bro.
Because that totally wasn't me. That was someone else. I
Wasn't
just
me.
watched it
Yeah, I
happen.
knew a guy once. No, but really, seriously, one time. Okay, so Apache Shores again.
At band camp?
Dirt road area of Apache Shores, between
Which is
you
most
know,
of them.
You know, between Hudson Bend and Apache Shores. We found a boat just on the ground, no trailer,
No trailer?
or anything. Yeah. We were in a 4-wheel drive truck, you know, cruising around.
Put that bitch in the back.
So we tied it to the truck. We tied the boat to the truck.
Yeah, that's one does.
And 3 of us rode
Got
in the boat. Yeah.
of course.
While the truck's pulling it down the dirt roads at like 70 miles an hour.
I mean, that's just logic. You
Sliding
get in the
around
boat.
corners and yeah, trying
That's
not
so
to roll
dangerous.
the boat. Yeah,
so
but hey, we lived through it, and I have a great story from it, a great memory. It was awesome, you know. Oh, but I knew a guy.
I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Dude, Apache Shores is the type of place. When we would give directions, this is the way we would tell them is, all right, you're going to turn off of the highway, take a left at this light, and then every time you see a pair of tennis shoes hanging on the on the power lines, turn.
If you
Like-
hear Tejano music and beer bottles crashing, you're headed in the right direction.
Dude, for real, like and it worked out in such a way that there were only like you could only turn left or you could only turn right.
Yeah,
and
always.
the power lines go over and you throw the tennis shoes up. Every time you see a pair of tennis shoes on the power lines, just turn, and you'll end up at our house.
Wherever, yeah.
Dude,
you'll-
somebody needs to go navigate Briarcliff and do that shit, because fuck getting lost in Briarcliff. That's
God
a lot.
damn.
So
Blake, you remember back in the day, we knew somebody who knew somebody that had an Escalade, and We used to like jump it in the air over that hill.
That's definitely falls under the hood rat shit category.
Here's what I want to know. Why is
I mean, when you're making a $60,000 Escalade fly through the air, I mean, it's pretty cool. When you're like 14, 15 years old.
Why is every Escalade ramp in Briarcliff called Briarcliff Drive? Like, I seriously have been at the corner of
He's still on
Briarcliff and Briarcliff. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
So for the listeners who don't know, Briarcliff is a neighborhood out here at the lake on Lake Travis, but it's the kind of neighborhood where it's exactly like Chris said. You enter and like every road has the same name, so like you'll be at the corner of Briarcliff Drive and Briarcliff Cove, and then you'll turn and you'll be on Briarcliff Parkway all of a sudden.
I think the mythology behind it is Pootie, Willie's homeboy. Mm-hmm. It was all his property, and he would go out drunk and just cut trails. And then when they sold all the property because Willie got into some trouble with the IRS or whatever, they sold the property and they just paved it and started building houses. So these old fucking trails that Pootie cut, that's the roads. And dude, they're fucked off.
And they're all called
That's a
Briarcliff.
fact.
You can get lost as fuck, dude.
Yeah. Just like you can get lost in the shores. To be fair, you can get totally lost in the shores the same way.
I can't get lost in the shores.
I don't get lost
you
in the
can't. You grew up there. That's like, dude, clearly, like...
I could pretty much drive it.
Dude, we were in high school, and there was 100 motherfuckers at this party in the shores, and the cops roll up, and we bail out of the back and run down this fucking ravine.
Mountain.
The people in the shores...
Off of cliffs and shit. That was
And then,
wild.
you
get
splash in this fucking river and start climbing up the other side. And now I'm like traversing Apache shores in the dark through the woods, and
Cut up,
there's
bleeding.
just kids everywhere.
Yeah, that was a wild one. I remember that. And you know what's cool?
I was
though, is
running-
we all got away.
I was
Every one of us.
I was running down that ravine.
We threw the kegs off the cliff and got the kegs back.
I was running down that ravine, and I could hear the kegs rolling down behind me.
Threw the kegs off the third-story patio.
And then I got to the bottom, and there were fucking cops on four-wheelers on the dirt road, like going up the other side. And I was like, I'm gonna wait here for a minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good times.
That's hood rat shit for sure.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's a hood rat story.
How
To...
many dirt leggers were there?
72.
Wait,
Kim-
what's a dirt legger?
What's a dirt legger? So if
Qualify this shit.
I think I got this. When you go to the trailer park or the RV park, and there's this little chick that lives there in the RV park, and all she does is run around and give blowjobs, right? But
attire consists of either flip flops or barefoot.
Yeah,
and
she's got no
Daisy Duke shorts. 'cause
she's
it's
got no
Texas.
shorts
It's
on.
fucking hot here.
Or I'm sorry, no flip flops on. She got shorts on sometimes. But she's running around and she just gets dirt all over her feet and ankles and shit, just dirty. Yeah, dirt legger.
I mean, I can get with that.
And it's not.
You have. I'm pretty sure.
I feel like people are
This
imagining Daisy Dukes and like the smoking hot chick. No, we're not. That's not the chick we're talking
No,
about.
back
is it?
me like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's I don't know. That's growing up poor.
I'd say the back knee's almost a qualifier, like fucking 30 knees. Dirt legger.
that's a fact. Well, boys, I
Wait,
think
I got one more thing for you.
All right.
Before we close out, probably a lot of you listeners don't know exactly who everybody is, but just for a visual real quick, because I've always said this and I just wanted to say it again. Blake is in fact Ron Swanson.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Blake is Ron Swanson. If you've never seen Parks and Rec, you should definitely check that out.
So please send all of your bacon and eggs.
And I don't think you understand. We want all
of your bacon and eggs.
of the bacon and eggs.
You know, I'm really flattered. I'm glad you said that. I'm not one for big speeches, so yeah,
Wait.
that's all.
Can you be
So
Ron,
that's all?
Can you be Ron Swanson and fucking not abide by rule number 1?
No, it's just a way. Like it's not.
it's a way of life.
Yeah, it's not in my not in my repertoire.
Yeah, it's just
A way of being.
that's Blake.
Well, what about rule number 2? You know about that one?
Should we recap rule number 2?
I think
Yeah.
shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's time to shut the fuck up. So be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Like, follow, whatever the fuck you do on those social media things. You can check us out on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and Podbean. We have new episodes every Monday, so be sure to check back in. We'll be dropping things again soon. So that's enough for rule number 1. It's time for rule number 2.